preview on exit. Solid stop so far on the right side. Looks good on the left, Ralph.
Well, here comes the guy that held the lead, the number 18 of Kyle Busch. Now remember, they were talking about brakes. Let's see if they remove some tape off the front of that car. They're going to go to work on the right side tires. Take care of that. So far, they're leaving the tape on, Bill.
Yeah, Ralph, Kasey Kahne wanted a little bit more of that track bar raised, just a little bit to free it up a little bit through the center of the corner. Kasey Kahne's going to see he did not beat the 18 out of the pits.
Four-time winner here at New Hampshire, Jeff Burton, making his way to his pit stall. The complaint from Burton: the car was just way too free. Look for a big adjustment there. Meanwhile, the 24, Jeff Gordon, he's making his way down the pits as well. While the 31 hits his box, an air pressure change on the left side. See if they put a wrench in the back window. Meanwhile, the 24 of Gordon, he was just trying to hold on, and he told Steve Letarte, I don't know what you're going to do. It's just dead loose on exit, but yet tight in the center. Steve Letarte's going to fix it with a track bar and wedge adjustment. Both stops complete.
And Matt, those the final two stops in this cycle under green. Martin Truex Jr., the first to hit pit road. He did so at lap 170. Burton and Gordon in at lap 178. Nothing's changed at the front. It continues to be Kyle Busch leading. You're watching Sprint Cup Racing on TNT, presented by Captain Morgan. Kyle Busch continues to lead as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series rolls through New England. Race 17 in 2010. How would you like to win up to $1 million? You got a chance. All you have to do is log on to NASCAR.com/TNT Million. It's the TNT $1 Million Fan Challenge. Your picks have to be in for today's race, but you can win at Daytona or Chicago. Just go to the website, make your picks, and if you pick the top 10 finishers in correct order, you could win up to $1 million.
And Kyle, you're going to match that? Is that what you said under commercial?
Looking at our top 10 today.
That's what I said. Exactly.
I thought you said that.
A.J. Allmendinger may be throwing things off a bit. He's running 9th.
Robbie Gordon threw a lot off last week.
He did.
So that's, you know, the 2 car here, you see the 2 and the 48. We were just watching them race a little bit. A.J. right there behind them. This group is kind of like Wally said, 7 or 8 seconds behind. They've not made a lot of progress. They're doing a lot of racing with each other, but they're not moving forward a lot. And what I like about Kyle Busch leading the race right now is, earlier in the race when we heard his audio, he's like, this car's junk. This car's just terrible. And he was running like 5th or 6th at the time.
He says that unless he's got an 8-second lead.
I love that. I love that passion that he has and that he brings. And, I mean, he's constantly wanting that thing to get better and better and better as we see A.J. go the inside of the 98 car.
What's with him is if one car passes him, it's junk.
Yeah, it's junk. But that's how competitive he is. It doesn't make any difference. And that's pretty impressive.
And now for Ford, Tony Stewart on older tires. Montoya taking advantage.
And Tony's just got to be just chewing on the steering wheel right now, because he gets that little bit of a break where he gets the new tires and he can pass everybody and you feel like a hero. And then everybody 8 or 10 laps later gets theirs and they come right back past you, and you just got to maintain. Last cycle, he was 2nd, if you remember. He came out, led the race, and then fell back to 2nd. Now he's all the way back. This cycle, he ends up in 4th.
Big movers this afternoon. Kyle Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr. lead the charge. Both drivers inside the top 10. Tony Stewart has been good. A.J. Allmendinger the best of them all. And Burton, a 4-time winner here, from 14th to 3rd.
And I'm going to say, out of that pack right there, you know, as I look at that pack and we go back to qualifying and we go back to qualifying draw, really, A.J. was pretty good in practice. Burton was good in practice. Stewart was good in practice. Kyle Earnhardt wasn't that good in practice. So those guys made some changes and made some adjustments that got them in the race today. Phil?
Guys, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just reported to Lance McGrew, his crew chief. He was complaining before about not rotating enough through the center. He just said that was too much of a change. Now it's over-rotating in the center of the corner. They need to take some of that back out.
And that's the hard thing for a driver and a crew chief at a place like this.
Whoa.
Oh, man, wow. That thing just wiggled and took off right there. The hard thing is, and you look at over-rotating. As he turned in and ran down across that line, that thing starts to rotate. Now he's got to catch it and chase it up the racetrack. That's a perfect example of that. But you got a car and you think, man, I'm really good. Everything's working good. Should I make an adjustment? You got to make an adjustment to stay up with the racetrack. You got to make an adjustment to stay up with the other competitors because they're not sitting still.
You know how all good distance runners have their pace. They just go out and run. They know what they need to be doing to get where they're going. How about Kevin Harvick? Started outside the top 20 again today in the 24th position. Every week he paces himself, and here we are closing in on 100 laps to go, and he's knocking on the door of the top 10 again.
And that's a team that has the big picture in mind. When you can do that, when you can take something and not do anything, take nothing and make something out of it. They do it week in and week out, and they've done it this year better than any other team. There's been times I thought, my God, they're going to get lapped in the first 50 laps of the race. You see the final run day and they finish 4th.
But don't you think in order for them to win the championship, they're going to have to get from this point better if they're going to beat Denny Hamlin and the 48 car?
Yeah, I definitely think that. And you got to quote Jeff Gordon on that. We thought running in the top 5 was going to win us championships last year. Jimmy Johnson showed us winning wins you championships. You know what I mean? And that's the deal. This is good this time of the year. Right. But when it comes to championship time, everybody has to elevate their game.
Jimmy Johnson's kind of rewrote the rule book in a few different areas. You know, there are a lot of themes and thought processes that were out there. Here's the battle for second. Jeff Burton.
I tell you,
he's been solid.
He gets a hold of this racetrack, and he is a tough guy to beat at this place. And he hasn't really been. He hasn't been that threat like he used to be. You come here, you have to beat Jeff Burton on this racetrack. But boy, he looks like the old. He looks like it used to be when he was running for Roush and those guys. He was winning all these races up here.
And that's, you know, he's just patient. He just lets the racetrack come. He runs. He lets the car do the work. He doesn't overdrive the place. This is one of those places that just matches his style. And you see, once he clears somebody like this and can go back to running his own race and running the whole racetrack, he'll check out a little bit.
Burton made his career debut here in 1993. He's on the move today, but right now, Kyle Busch in command. His advantage 2.2 seconds over Burton. 100 laps complete in Loudon, New Hampshire, and we may have a change soon at the front of the field. Kyle Busch, the race leader.
Got 4 lappers binding up right in front of you
And here
guys.
comes Jeff Burton driving to the inside.
Yeah, Jeff.
Still there.
Jeff's not a little bit faster. He's been a lot faster than the 18 car in the last few laps. So now the 18's car is junk again.
Yeah, he's just got junk. He got passed. He's junked. Sorry.
Enjoy the view. Let's go.
Enjoy the view. That's
Rocky
nice
Ryan,
to hear.
the spotter, helping walk his driver through the traffic. And just in front of them, you see Greg Biffle. He's the last car on the lead lap being scored in 21st.
I'm going to tell you, that's impressive with that 31 to come from, you know, where they start, 16th, 17th, and just march through the field little by little, stayed on their strategy, stayed on where they were at, and to come to the front against some of the guys that they've had to race. Because there's been some guys at the front that have been really fast today.
And now we get into the Haynes Comfort Zone. Time to go downstairs to our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
Well, Adam, when you think about the inside of a race car, the cockpit, it's been documented with the heat from the brakes, the transmission from the exhaust system, that the inside temperature can get over 130 degrees. And one place that heat really gets hot is down here in the floorboard area where the pedals and where the driver's feet are. Now, for years and years, we would try all types of things. Insulated mats, we would even try plywood. But it almost got to the point where the more we put there, the more it would hold the heat and really make the driver uncomfortable because it was burning his feet. We finally decided that we're working on maybe the wrong thing. Now, this is a driver's shoe that a driver will wear. If you notice, it has a very thin sole. So what we had a company do is develop what we call a bootie. And it's basically a space-age material that the driver velcros to the bottom of the bootie, and it will definitely keep his feet nice and cool and comfortable. And you know, when the driver's feet's comfortable, the driver will be comfortable.
Yeah, and Larry, we have tried a lot of different things. We used styrofoam cups that you put inside because it's so uncomfortable when that floorboards get hot. We've all gotten blisters on our heels during races because it is like an oven in there.
And you know, we talk about where the driver's feet, where the driver's set. When you talk about a little bit of everything, Casey's
he's off the pace.
He's off the pace right here for whatever reason. Yeah.
Watch his feet here.
You got there, bud. I blew up.
Blowing up.
Here's a driver that had recorded back-to-back top fives and jumped 5 positions in the standings in the last 2 weeks. And Tough day here this afternoon, Phil.
It sure is. Casey just reported that the motor was blowing up. He's one of only 2